A deadly encounter captured in graphic detail. Two officers responding to a 911 call, reports of a man vandalizing cars. Overhead, a police helicopter, infrared video tracking the suspect. On the ground, shaky body cams pick up the frantic pursuit. As they close in, amid the chaos, one of the officers shouts, "Gun!" Seconds later, both officers open fire. Somebody has gun! 5-7 shots fired, subject down. Leaving a haze of smoke and the 22-year-old suspect, Stephen Clark, dead in his grandmother's backyard, an iPhone, not a weapon, by his side.
My nigga was shot so many times. Huge. No.
The headlines came fast and furious. Social media ablaze. Unarmed black father of two is shot dead by cops. Police shot at a man 20 times in his own yard, thinking he had a gun. It was an iPhone. This latest incident adding to the already combustible national dialogue about police, race, and the use of deadly force.
When they fired their service weapons, they believed that this individual had a firearm.
But now, with the release of the police footage of the shooting, the case appears to have become far more complex. ABC News senior legal correspondent Sonny Hostin and I watched the footage together.
It definitely looks like he's running here.
Here we are, another shooting of an unarmed young black man. A lot of people are going to look at this and be outraged. What's your take?
If this is a high crime area, these officers are already fearing for their lives. What I saw was officers that were scared, that were nervous, but were doing what officers do every single day, which is chase suspects and possibly put their lives on the line.
How is it that they couldn't mistake a cell phone for a gun?
They did give him the opportunity to show his hands. We're talking about probably a dark object. It's dark outside. And what the law provides, Dan, is it doesn't have to be an actual threat. It doesn't have to be an actual gun. It only has to be that the police officer perceives the threat.
So when he yells, "Gun, gun, gun," that could be their strongest defense in a courtroom.
He perceived that it was a gun.
And that's all that matters.
Giving him the license to fire.
Once again, the law says as long as an officer reasonably believes he or she is in danger, deadly force is justifiable. But experts say just because the officers may have feared for their lives does not mean this situation was handled correctly.
Shots fired. Fear is not a calculation that officers should use as an excuse to shoot someone. To not let this person...
ABC News consultant and retired Dallas Police Chief David Brown knows all too well the risks officers face every day. In 2016, he lost 5 of his officers after they were ambushed by a heavily armed man who opened fire at a protest in Dallas.
When you have these multiple shots being fired, 20, 30 shots being fired at a subject, it leads one to believe there's an overreaction. Officers got too close, they didn't follow their training, and they failed to de-escalate the situation.
But we can't go over there and get you help unless we know you don't have the weapon.
Do you think these officers are going to find themselves in a court of law facing charges?
I don't think so. I'm just looking at this. The legal standard is whether or not the force was justified. I can't imagine that even an external investigation is going to determine that this shooting was unjustified. We need more training because this young man, a father of 2, shouldn't be dead. He had no weapon.
Stephen Clark was a father of 2 sons, ages 1 and 3.
And I had to wake up every morning to my kids asking me, "Where's Daddy? Let's go get Daddy." He would never want to leave his kids. He would always want to make sure his kids were good.
I understand that everybody has a job to do, but he didn't deserve this. He didn't deserve this.
He had allegedly been staying at his grandmother's home. Court records show he had 2 felony counts of domestic abuse to which he pled guilty and agreed to undergo treatment. He also had other charges, including robbery, possession of a firearm, and possession of a controlled substance.
These officers don't know the criminal record when they are on the scene. They know nothing. It only matters what the officers knew at the time when they are pursuing a suspect.
As to whether racism, either implicit or explicit, is at play in this case, it is not clear that officers knew at the time of the shooting that Clark was African American.
Is he black, white, Hispanic, Asian?
He had a good, I think so, man.
The fact that the young man was running,
Yeah.
does he not have potentially some justification in being afraid
Maybe
of
he's
the
afraid
police?
of the police.
So, I mean, that he was running doesn't necessarily mean he was guilty of anything.
No, it doesn't. And that's, I think, what's so difficult about the scene that we see over and over again. There are young black men that are just simply afraid of the police because you see the statistics of young black men being killed disproportionately from other people in the population.
What would you say to people of color who are afraid of the police?
I have a son who is 6 feet tall, a boy of color, and I tell him, listen, don't run from the police. I've taken my son to our neighborhood police station. I've introduced him to the police officers. So if they see him running down the street because he is an athlete, he may be training, I want them to know who he is. Now, does that sound unreasonable to some? Perhaps, but that is what I do to make sure that my son is not harmed by the police because of this implicit bias that exists.
The two officers who shot Clark have not been identified, but they have both had years of training, and they are both now on paid administrative leave.
You know, this is a very tragic situation, and, you know, for the family and for our officers as well.
Sacramento police say the officers in the helicopter witnessed Clark break a glass door before they told units to move in. They also released a statement saying, in part, the officers gave the suspect commands to stop and show his hands. The suspect turned and advanced toward the officers while holding an object which was extended in front of him. The officers believed the suspect was pointing a firearm at them. Fearing for their safety, the officers fired their duty weapons, striking the suspect multiple times.
Let's step away from the details of this case for a moment. Where are we as a country now that we have this accumulation of cases like this?
We're in a place now where there is this fundamental distrust between the police and the communities they police. When you have the community that's being policed so afraid of possibly being killed by the neighborhood police officer, it's a recipe for disaster.
Tonight, as the police continue their investigation, yet another community in America reacts with shock and anger.
Shut it down! If we don't get it! Shut it down! If we don't get it! Shut it down!
As we said, a combustible national debate, and one we will continue to cover here on Nightline.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
A deadly encounter captured in graphic detail. Two officers responding to an...
All right. You back. Yeah, I just saw this. I haven't been looking at the news. I just discovered this. Like, what in the world? Yeah. Sacramento up north. Yeah, I mean, you understand. I mean, when I was 18, 18, I started writing those raps, but I knew somebody have to live by this, because you have to understand the history of what's existing. You have to know the history. Listen, you're not gonna know nothing unless you are shown something, and sometimes people don't show unless you need to know, Sometimes people don't need to know. At least that's what you think. So what we do is we play God within ourselves to determine whether this person should know or not. We do. We feel like, giving out information to people can either help us or hurt us. No in between. Either help you or hurt you. So half the time, majority of the time, people don't tell people nothing. They let them exist. They let them exist, and the young man seems like to me, he really had no strong influence over his life. He already had a record at such a young age. He had 2 kids with a woman that's not even black. So I mean, not to say that you can't be happy with another race, but what I'm saying is that he's black, his mama's black. Where's the daddy at? Where's the black foundation at? There's none. And you think these people don't know that? You think the police don't know that? They know. Please. How can they not know? People act like they don't know. See, that's where lies. Listen, how many times I gotta tell you, propaganda, lies, this thing, it all runs together. It all runs together. You have to understand. These people, they come, they make police officers or informants or whatever. These people ain't from the place they work at. The place they work at, they ain't from there. These guys come all across the country. California is like going to probably get extra pay. High crime area. Your job is to go there to that state or to that city to lock up or kill Negroes. Population control. It was all set up. It's set up that way. By who? Who you think? Just think. But how can you think if you don't know? Because you've never been showed, But y'all don't listen, I mean, I remember I came to first I went to the military. They talked about me a little bit back there, but we're in the military, so me being who I am, I qualify. This is where you need to be at, and I didn't even take advantage of it because I wanted to prove that I could be a nigga too. So we spend our lives. We basically spend our lives trying to prove something. Prove what? What are you proving? Proving everything, but being who you're supposed to be. And that's being directed from the Most High. We do everything but that. Trying to prove to these people who don't even know who they are. That's what we do. That's what I did. I sat there and proved that I could be a nigga. I could be a nigga. And the more I tried, the more I got slammed down for trying, And so I said, well, it ain't gonna work. So I just... even when I was knocking niggas out, undefeated. Yeah, they glamorized me and stuff, but that wasn't nothing. They weren't fighting me, so evidently I was doing. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to, I could have been doing or should have been doing, because to them it was all about money. I wasn't getting no rank for it. That's what it's all about, rank. And rank comes to money. And getting rank and getting rank, you know how you get rank. Like you get a job, promotion. You gotta step with some, toes. All you gotta do what you gotta do. Just stay in my shoes, pay my dues. Hoes I use for my satisfaction. Also relaxing. That reminds me. You know the story. I mean, come on. 18 writing this. But you have to understand, people don't have no direction because they don't know. They don't know where to get the direction to. So you got people coming here to where you at for only one agenda, and that's to kill you or lock you up. I told you a story about California. I told you. That's why all these boys, young boys, are all gay. They're all walking around here homeless. Even the brother, he sounded like he was halfway twisted. I come from the 70s, okay? I come from the 30s. I come from 69, actually. That's when I was made, in 69. So you have to understand, I was made to be a certain way. Not from a choice, but was demanded, by law. People thought I was some kind of homosexual or gay because the way I talked, the way I presented myself, the way I carried myself. But that's just the way I was trained growing up. But these kids ain't doing that. These kids are being misled. Like I said, led astray, led astray. Led astray, no need to be disgrace, watch real life. Anyways, that's another story. But so I look at them and if the police is said already, first of all, listen. Let me tell you how the police works. The police ain't no security guard. Okay, I did security. I did military. The security job is his job is to prevent. I know some security guards think they police, but they're not. Security jobs are to is to prevent something from happening. Just prevent, not stop nothing. If you stopping everything and you arresting people or you doing the citizen arrest and you're doing this, you're not a very good security guard. Because a security guard should have the easiest job in life, and that's just to prevent. Which is kind of hard, if you really do it. But people really don't know their jobs. But your job is to prevent something from happening. If something happens for whatever reason, that's when the police gets involved. Usually the police comes after the fact. And if they do come during the fact, somebody getting killed. Because they don't mind using that. They get away with it big time. A security guard don't get away with his. If he pulls his gun out the holster, pretty much, especially if he shoots it, he has to be accounted for that big time. He has to go through a whole big investigation type thing. Just for pulling it out and shooting it, whether he hits somebody or not. Now, police officer, all you gotta do is he didn't have to do that. They made up some laws over the years because of what's going on with all these cops shooting unarmed people, because these people ain't not even armed. So you get away. They've been doing that since the beginning. Shoot people not being armed. So what? That's only been a few years since cameras, phones been out. So you can imagine how many deaths there was. But that's another story. The story is about now is now. What's going on with now? Why would he shoot? Because you have to understand the mentality. Their job is to make arrests. They get a job. When you have a job at anywhere, if you have a job at Penn or McDonald's or Burger King or anywhere, your job is to do what? Make sure the fast food chain is running smoothly, doing what they do, right? Same with the police officer. His job is to make arrests. That's his job. And make arrests consists of killing somebody, maybe having to kill somebody, maybe having to hurt somebody, maybe having to risk your own life. You're at war. So you got this kid jumping over fences, doing whatever. They got him on video. I saw somebody on video jumping fences. At nighttime, you a nigga, you got 2 felonies. So and then we make a big deal out of it when in March because he was